Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Yaya Simple Living and my name is Kelly and welcome to my kitchen. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, and if you are returning, welcome back. So I recently posted a video on 5 different ways to use pizza dough. And somebody asked me if I could please do it with fresh milled flour. So that's going to be our project for today. We are going to make pizza dough with fresh milled flour. And I have my cat here who's jumping on me. Anyway, so I have let's see here, let me turn you around here. I have the Nutrimil Classic. I'm going to move you guys in here real quick. Grain mill. So how this works, I didn't do an unboxing or anything on it, but I love this machine. So how it works is this is the motor function, and I like to keep my motor function close to the left side because that gives me a finer flour. So it's all about how you like your texture. If you turn the knob all the way to the right, it's going to give you a more coarse flour. If you turn it all the way to the left, it's going to give you a finer flour. So you just have to mess with it and determine which you like best. And then the feed rate, I usually like to keep it right. Oh, whoop. Apparently I'm going to turn it on. So sorry. I like to keep the feed rate right around the middle, like about 12 o'clock, and that's going to give me a nice bread flour for my pizza dough. So let me get situated here, and then I'm going to bring you guys back because we got to weigh out our wheat berries. Okay, so for today, I am going to use a combination of hard white wheat, and I'm going to add a little bit of spelt in there. So I need 460 grams of wheat berries for the pizza dough that I am making. So I think I'm going to do about 350 in hard white wheat. You can use hard white or hard red for breads and things that you really need the gluten structure. You want to use a harder white. For pastries and things like that, you can use a harder wheat. For pastry and things like that, you can use a softer wheat. Let's see if I have 350 in here. Oh, 353. Okay. Oh, I'm going to have to refill my hard white wheat. And then I'm going to bring it up to, using spelt, I'm going to do up to 460. And the spelt just kind of adds a nice little nutty flavor to it. It just gives a different flavor. And if you guys have not milled your own wheat berries and milled your own flour, let me tell you, it is a game changer because it tastes so different than the flour that you get in the store. And I get all of my wheat berries from Azure Standard. So I did start getting them off Amazon, but then I switched to Azure Standard. But I also order them I ordered some hard white wheat from Wheat Montana, which is a company, and I love their flour. I've always used their bread flour and their all-purpose flour, so I decided to try their wheat berries, and I really do enjoy their wheat berries as well, but I can only get the hard white wheat from them, or the hard red. I haven't been able to get the spelt or the einkorn or anything like that. So we're going to get this milled up, and then I will bring you guys back and show you the finished product on my flour. So what I'm going to do is I pour it into, let's see, I'm going to pour it into here and then turn it on. And on this machine, what you want to do, let me make sure that the little cup is in there. So there's a little cup down at the bottom. And I have a lot of wheat bran in there. There's a cup down at the bottom that gets the real fine flour that could blow all over. And on this machine, you want to make sure when you put it in that you push it all the way in. There's a yes and a no here, so you want to make sure the yes is showing so that you don't have flour everywhere. So let me get this milled up, and then I will bring you guys right back. Okay, so we are back. Our flour is all, let me move this here real quick so I can show you our flour. So we have our flour all milled up. I like to just knock everything off here. Okay, so we have 460 grams of fresh milled flour. And the nice thing about fresh milled flour is it still has all of the wheat germ, the endosperm and everything in the wheat, which is missing in commercial wheat, a lot of it. Even whole wheat, they take a lot of it out because it without the germ and everything, then it will last longer. If you leave the germ and the endosperm and everything in it, then it tends to go rancid faster. But since we're fresh milling it and using it right now, we're okay with that. So let me grab my measuring cup here. Actually, I'm just gonna, I already know how much it is. So it's 460 grams. And what I like to do is take a little paintbrush and just brush the excess back in to the container so I get every little bit of it. And this is a paintbrush that I bought specifically for this purpose, and I only use it for this purpose. And trust me, once you use fresh milled wheat, you will never want to go back to store-bought wheat again, or store-bought flour again. But there is a learning curve on it. And I have a couple tricks that I'm going to show you guys. And the other thing you want to do is, I do not wash my mill in between because I do not want to get any kind of moisture in it that will affect the flour. So, and since I'm only milling wheat, I can just put it back and continue using it. All right, so we have our fresh milled flour here. Let me get my bowl. I'm going to pour that into my bowl. Okay, the first trick that I like to use for fresh milled flour is I'm going to add everything in except for my yeast. And I'm going to use instant yeast. If you're using active dry yeast, you're going to want to hold back some of your water to be able to bloom your yeast in it. However, since I'm using instant yeast, I don't have to do that. So I have my 460 grams, or oh, I only needed 420. I did 460. All right, let me measure this out again because I read my recipe wrong. I'm just going to measure out 420 grams. Let me grab my real life, guys, real life. All right. Let me grab my scale here. And I'm going to do 420 grams. Okay. All right, so, and then I'm going to add to that 1 1/4 cups of warm water. I like to do it around 110 degrees. Get rid of my scale here. Then I'm going to add in 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm just using a Redmond's Real Salt mineral salt. It still has all the minerals in it. I'm going to add 1 1/2 teaspoons of honey. If I can open it. I'm so weak. Let me get an opener. If you guys have trouble opening jars, this thing is amazing. Let me show you. Let's see. I want to make sure you guys can see it. This, you put it on. Of course, it's not going to work now that because I have a hard time holding the jar. And it loosens the lid. All right, so 1 1/2 teaspoons of honey or sugar. I'm using honey. And this helps with your pizza crust browning, and it also helps with the fermentation of the dough. All right, and my hands are clean. I'm gonna go ahead and just get some of that honey out. Usually I spray it, but I don't know why I didn't do that, but I didn't. All right, get all that honey out. Whoops. All right. Then the last thing we're going to add right now is I'm going to add just a little teeny bit more honey, just a teeny tiny bit. Okay, that's good. And I am using the raw berry wildflower honey from Azure Standard, which I absolutely love this. Then the last thing we're going to add to this is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And again, we have not added in our yeast yet. Okay. So let me move these things. Get my mixer back over here. So what I do is I'm going to go ahead and get this all mixed up. I'm going to start with my paddle attachment, and you can do this by hand. I just think it's easier to do it by a mixer. So I'm going to start with my paddle attachment, and I'm going to get it all mixed up, and then once it's mixed up, I'm going to let it sit for about an hour before I add in the yeast. And that's going to help that fresh milled flour absorb the water and absorb the moisture, and then you're going to be able to tell if you need more water or more flour. And it's also going to help with your gluten structure. I'm also going to stop periodically and just scrape down the sides of the bowl just to make sure that everything is getting incorporated. And it's going to be really shaggy, and that's fine. I don't know, can you guys see what this looks like now? Let me hold you guys up. All right, so that is all incorporated. Now I'm just going to put a cover on. I'm just going to put a cover over it, and I'm going to let it sit. I'm going to let it sit for anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to soak up all of the moisture. So as soon as that sits for a while, we will be back, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so it has been about 30 minutes. I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to add in my yeast. So 1 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast. And again, if you're using dry active yeast, you're going to want to have held back a little bit of water so you can bloom it. And then add it in. Okay. Close that up. Now I'm going to switch to my dough hook. And I am going to let this run for about, well, I want to make sure the yeast is all incorporated into it. So I'm going to incorporate the yeast, and then I'm going to let it sit again to let the yeast activate for about 30 minutes. And look what a difference that letting that sit for that long made with my fresh milled flour. It really helped form the structure of the dough. recipe is going to make two 12-inch pizzas. Okay, so we've got our dough mixed in. And now that we've added the yeast, the flour, it's tacky, but it's not super sticky. Okay, so we're going to let this sit for about 30 minutes to let the yeast activate. And then we're going to knead it for, since we're using the KitchenAid, we're going to knead it for about 6 minutes and see how the gluten looks at that point. So I will be back. All right, we are back. We have let our yeast activate a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and knead this for, I'm going to check it. I'm going to knead it for 6 minutes. I'm going to check it and then we'll see how it's doing. But you can knead it up to 20 minutes. You know what, let me just show you guys. I'm going to get my hands wet here real quick. Let me just show you guys how stretchy it is. So right now it is stretchy. There is some gluten to it. I'm not getting the window pane yet. It's still ripping. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and knead it and get that started. All right, so I'm going to start with about 6 minutes, and then I'll be back. All right, guys. It has been about 5 minutes. Let me see how this is looking. All right, look at that. That is beautiful. And are we going to get a window pane? We are going to get a little bit of a window pane. All right, so we are going to let this, we're going to put this in an oiled bowl, and we're going to let this rise for an hour to an hour and a half, and then we'll go from there. The other thing that you can do is you can, after the first rise, you can put that in a bowl and you can put it in your refrigerator for 24 to 72 hours to let it long cold ferment. I'm not going to do that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and get an oiled bowl, and we're going to put that in there and let that until it doubles in size. Wash my hands again, get all that dough off. And I'll grab a bowl. All right, so I have my bowl here. Let me grab my dough. My bowl is oiled up. And all right, and I'm also going to go ahead and spray just a little bit of oil on the top. All right. If you guys don't have these are phenomenal. You can fill them up with your own oil, and then you can spray or you can pour. I love them. They come in a set of 2. I think I have them in my Amazon storefront if you're interested. So let me get this covered up, and we will wait an hour to an hour and a half and see how it's doing. So we'll be back. Okay guys, so we are back. It has been about an hour and a half. Our dough is lovely and has risen, doubled in size. Nice little air bubble there. So let me get some flour on my workstation here. And we're going to move this out onto our workspace. All right, I'm going to put this over here because actually I don't need this anymore. All right. Okay, so let me punch this down. Now, this will make 2 pizzas. And again, if you're looking to make some of the recipes that we made with the pizza dough that I made with yeast, with regular flour, store-bought flour and yeast, you can do the same recipes with that. just with regular flour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to make it into a ball. And this is going to go into my refrigerator because I don't need 2 pizzas. Frankly, I don't need 1 pizza, but that's fine. So I'm going to oil my bag here. And then I'm going to stick that in. And that can go in the refrigerator. And it can stay in there for anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. You can also freeze this. Let me put it aside for now though. Okay, now what I'm going to do is make this into a ball. And I have my oven preheated to 475 with my pizza stone in the oven. All right, so this is just going to get covered up. We're going to let this rest for about 15 minutes, covered up. And that's going to relax the gluten a little bit so that we can shape our pizza. Whoop, a little string there. Because like right now, if I tried to shape this, and I'm looking at a 12-inch pizza, which is going to be out to this line right here. And as you can see, while I'm shaping it, it's fighting me and trying to go back in. And you can stretch it. It's very stretchy. You don't want to make it too thin though. And you can also, if you want to, you can use a rolling pin on it. I just kind of like to push from the center out because that's going to give me a nice crust, like edge to hold the pizza. And again, because this is kind of trying to shrink back on me, I'm going to go ahead and cover it up and let that sit for a few minutes to let that gluten relax a little bit. But you can see that it does stretch pretty well. All right, so we're going to let this rest and we will be back. Okay, I'm back. We have let it rest for a little bit. And let's see where we are at. Yep, see, it's stretching a lot better now. And it's not pulling back as much. So let's get this out to the 12-inch mark. All the way around. I have a nice crust still on the outside. All right, let me grab my pizza peel. Because we're going to put it on there. And grab some cornmeal, I think. Okay, so we have our cornmeal here. We're going to put some of that on our pizza peel. Lift our pizza up and put it on the peel and try and reshape it. All right. Grab some sauce, which I just made using tomato sauce, tomato paste, and spices, which again, I don't have a recipe for it because your girl measures with her heart. I let my Irish ancestors tell me how I should be making pizza sauce. So there's that. We're not going to take it quite all the way out to the edge. You can put as much or as little on it as you want. Okay. I'm going to throw a little bit of my roasted garlic powder on there as well, just for a little extra flavor. We have some shredded mozzarella cheese, which I got from Azure Standard last month. And if you guys are interested in Azure Standard, I am an affiliate with them, and I will go ahead and put my link down in the description. And if you click on my link and order, I do get a small kickback, but once you order, you will also get your own link that you can share with family and friends, and then when they order, you will also get a little bit of credit on your following order. Okay, and what do you guys think? Pepperoni maybe? Let me grab some pepperoni. Probably should have had all this out already, but I didn't. And again, whatever toppings you like. I'm pretty plain, so I don't really have a lot of vegetables to put on it right now. All right, so there's that. And maybe top it with a little bit of extra cheese. Because, you know, cheese is delicious. And then as soon as my oven is preheated, we will go ahead and throw this in the oven, and we are going to bake it for, I can't remember. I will let you know before I throw it in the oven though. All right, so we will be back. Okay guys, our oven is preheated. I'm going to go ahead and get my pizza stone out of the oven here so I can put my pizza on it. It's very hot. And let me get my pizza peel. And we will hope that I can, can I? I might need some assistance with this. All right, let's see here. Well, it seems to be sticking. No bueno. Why did that stick there? Okay. I don't want to knock all the toppings off it. Usually doesn't do this. So it's going to be a really lopsided pizza, but that's fine, right? Usually I put the semolina on it and it comes right off. But for some reason, it does not want to do that now. Because I'm on camera, I'm sure. All right. I'll be back, guys. Okay, guys. It's a little misshapen, but that's okay. I got it done. Again, it's real life. So we're going to bake this for about 10 minutes. And we will see where we're at. So we're looking for a nice golden brown color. So I'll be back when we're ready to take this out of the oven. Okay guys, it's been 10 minutes. Let's see how it looks. Oh, you guys. All right, even though it's misshapen, look at that. How gorgeous is that? Fresh milled flour. Beautiful. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you how nice this crust is. I did cut it. And probably not very good, but look how fluffy that is. It's crispy on the bottom. Can you hear that? So, what a lovely crust. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you're looking for the other recipes that you can make with pizza dough, I'm going to put that video in the at the end screen, so it'll be right here. You can just click on that link, and you can use this fresh milled flour recipe and do all of those recipes, or you can do store-bought flour with those recipes. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button to show the algorithm that you liked it, and make sure that you hit that bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you guys would like to see more recipes with fresh milled flour, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and let me know, and I will be happy to make some more recipes for you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!